1993 Subaru Legacy Sports Sedan. I've had this car for about 7 years now. My name's Steve Hammond, and I am the founder and general manager of Horizontal Motorsports. Originally, this car I bought it for my wife as her daily driver, and didn't really have any big plans for it when I first got it. The car, as it sits now, has quite a bit of modifications done to it. The last dyno on it was exactly 712 wheel horsepower, which is at the wheels, and 605 foot-pounds of torque. It's a 2.5 liter EJ25 block. This is our HMS, we call it our Stage 5. It's basically the biggest, baddest block that we do. It's a closed deck, so it's actually been CNC modified, so the weaknesses around the cylinder have been filled with billet pieces to give the cylinder more support, and that's what makes it happen. Without that, you can't get anywhere close. It's got forged pistons from CP. It's a 9-to-1 compression motor, so it could still run on pump gas, although I run ethanol. I run E85 out of the pump. It's got the biggest camshafts that they make for a Subaru. They're GSC S3 billet camshafts, extremely aggressive. High RPM titanium valve springs in it, fully ported heads. All the valves are special alloy in the motor to handle high temperatures. It's got just about every product that we actually designed ever is pretty much in this car. Our rotated turbo kit, it's running a Precision 6870 V-band turbo, 105 hot side on it, and it runs right around 40 to 50 pounds of boost depending on what I want from the car. It's capable of more. It also has nitrous if I need to use it. I haven't used it yet. I'm still trying to, get used to the car. It has a Exedi triple disc clutch. Drive shaft chop axles all the way around. So all the fuel system was completely custom made from scratch by myself. I did every single line and fitting in this car. It's all really, really high-end PTFE lines on everything. I went overkill on a lot of it, I'm not gonna lie. Once you start getting into it and it's kind of a snowball effect. You do one big mod and then another mod needs this, and before you know it, you're like, why not just do it right, do it all. So the goal with this car was to choose quality components that all work together, and that's the key. And so this car's power band is extremely good. It hits 700 wheel horsepower at roughly 5,500 RPM, just under 6,000 RPM, and holds it all the way to 9,000 RPM. It's hard to do that without doing the right parts and making the build work together. I had one of my close friends, his name was Tom. He was a Subaru enthusiast. He loved this car and always wanted me to do something with it. He was thinking I should rally it or do something really cool like that. Well, Tom passed away, unfortunately, and I inherited his 2005 STI from his mother. She knew I was the only person that he would ever want to have the car, to touch it or deal with it. The car was in pretty bad shape. It was a total loss. The only thing good about it was the drivetrain and brakes and whatnot. I decided to take that car and strip it down to the bare shell and put all of the drivetrain and do a conversion into this car as a tribute to him, because I always knew he loved this car and I could never rebuild his car and drive it as my own. It just didn't feel right. So that's what started the STI swap for this car. I kind of got sidetracked with the car. It sat for a few years. I started the swap close to 5 years ago, and it stalled out for a few years. It was hard for me to work on the car. I just lost him, and it was very emotional for me. And every time I looked at the car, it was just hard. I just couldn't do it. So I put it in the garage, just put a cover on it, and didn't touch it for close to 3 years. Recently, my wife and some close friends pushed me to finish the car, and so it's finally done. And now the original goal was like 300 horsepower. It makes over 700 now at the wheels. And it's pretty much a full street legal race car. So it's been a lot of hard work and a lot of late nights. I think I worked on it for close to 2 months straight nonstop to finish it. So I was pulling 15-hour days on it at one point, and a lot of money, of course. And I'm really happy with it. It came out, it exceeded my expectations. So.